Hello, party people. Oh, let me get my microphone over where it should be. First off, happy 4th of July to the Amara Bros. I know it's a day late and probably $1 short. I know I'm certainly $1 short. Let's see. So, as you can tell, today is going to be a bit of a full day. This is the second video I'm producing today. My hand is far better, actually. Other than the tiniest bit of pain, pretty much back to completely normal. It's very nice considering I missed 2 days essentially worth of work. From the thumbnail, right there, keep forgetting the camera flips, right there, you can tell that, we've got a bit of a fun story to start with and a very much not fun story to finish with. So, as soon as you see this, I'll probably already be streaming over on Rumble at Ardent Plays. The link for that is in the description. And, so if you feel like coming and hanging out for a bit, pop into chat, say hi, yarn away with me. I don't have a problem with having a yarn. And I'm actually 20 minutes from when I normally start my Saturday streams, but I'm probably going to be a bit late because, well, this is going to take some time. Anyway, let's hop into the stories. So, first off, what the fuck happened, Jaguar? What'd you do? Did you make a mistake somewhere? Yeah, so Jaguar sold just 49 cars in April amid the EV rebrand, and dealers are at a standstill. Now, to be fair, it isn't just because of that ad, that wonderful, wonderful, holy fuck, what were you thinking ad, but it's also because, well, they've decided that they no longer wish to produce internal combustion engine vehicles. So they've decided to go with something that, if this is an actual concept or something they're planning to put in production, it's fucking ugly. And to be honest, it's so polygonal, it looks like it came out of an early, mid-90s side-scroller. I'm sure everybody remembers playing GTA 1 and 2. Yeah. So the Jaguar rebrand misstep takeaways. JLR has just lowered its fiscal 2026 EBIT margin forecast to 5 to 7%, and now expects near zero free cash flow due to new U.S. tariffs and EV investment. Jaguar's April 2025 Europe sales plunged 97.5 from almost 2,000 units to just under 50. That's a near total collapse during its rebranding phase. If they were smart, they expected this. The thing that I don't understand is, why did they stop making internal combustion engines when they know full well there are places in the world, Canada, the US, Australia, where the friggin' range is just not there yet? I had a bit of technical issue and had to switch to my regular headset, which I will use for streaming. Where was I? Okay. Talking about how I didn't understand why they didn't continue with the ICE, internal combustion engine division. The thing that I don't understand is, again, the technological limits still exist. And there are going to be people who will want an internal combustion engine simply because they want an internal combustion engine. So, limiting the number of products you produce is limiting your attempted market share. Like, you will cut your market share down, and probably significantly, considering most people, one of the reasons that you would buy an internal combustion engine Jaguar is, A, to pass it down to your kids. Well, currently, EV battery tech is changing so fast that any Jaguar you buy now will probably not be resellable in 20 years. Potentially even in 10. As far as I'm concerned, it's an unproven technology. Yes, it can work in certain limited circumstances. That said, it's not the best choice at this point, especially for a corporation that actually wants, we looked at a case not too long ago, Ford versus Dodge, where the idea that a corporation's sole purpose was profit for its shareholders. and to maximize that profit. Jaguar doing this definitely does not. Now, I have no idea if Jaguar is a publicly traded company, if they even have a board of directors. I expect they do. This is just a bad move all the way around as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. So BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi each retain market stability. Yeah, because even though they've added EV platforms to their offerings, they haven't limited themselves to those EV platforms. Jaguar eliminated nearly its entire product lineup before replacements launched, leaving dealers with almost no inventory and alienating longtime customers. Yeah, see, word of mouth is a horrible, horrible thing in marketing because you can, in fact, live by it, but you can far faster die by it. Bad news spreads fast. Negative opinions spread way faster than positive ones. I have a very positive opinion of the company that made this shirt. However, if I had purchased a shirt from this company and it turned out to be garbage, then that opinion would be shared much faster. People would be more inclined to share it. When you look at the product reviews for something on Amazon or anywhere else, what's the first one you look at? It's generally not the 5-star ones, it's generally the 1-star. And for the record, always check the 2 stars, because it's those middle of the road ones that will give you the most information, because those are the ones generally that people care about. The farthest ones down, the farthest ones up, generally those are the ones that people don't put a lot of effort into. So, yeah. One of Britain's most storied luxury brands is barely selling cars. Jaguar, recorded only 49 new vehicle registrations across Europe in April 2025, according to data from the European Automobile Manufacturers Association. Wow. Compared to the 1,961 cars sold during the same month the previous year, this 97.5% plunge marked one of the steepest declines for a premium car maker in recent history. This marks one of the steepest year-over-year sales collapses ever recorded by a premium automaker. Jaguar didn't just rebrand, they disappeared. Only 49 cars sold across Europe. Crazy. This dramatic drop coincided with Jaguar's effort to reinvent itself as an all-electric luxury marque. Good luck. You'd have been smarter to create a town car, and by which I mean one that only drives in towns. Under the Reimagine plan, introduced in 2021, the company halted internal combustion model production in anticipation of an EV relaunch set for 25-26. By late 2024, Jaguar suspended sales in the UK, leaving dealerships with almost no inventory. Now, Jaguar Land Rover, that's really disturbing that they're also still making Land Rovers, faces fresh macroeconomic headwinds. Yesterday, June 16th, this is a bit of an older story, JLR revised its 2026 profit expectations, lowering its EBIT margin guidance to 5-7%, says Reuters. This is down from the earlier 10% target, signaling minimal free cash flow. Imagine being a shareholder in Jaguar and discovering this, and not somehow being absolutely pissed at them. Even the Land Rover is getting uglier. The downgrade reflects both global EV transition costs and escalating trade pressure, particularly from the US. More than 25% of JLR's worldwide vehicle sales come from the US market. Yeah. But President Trump's recent imposition of a 25% tariff on all foreign-made vehicles forced JLR to temporarily pause shipments. Hey, here's a thought. Why don't you take your ICE division and move it to the States? Reopen the fucking thing. After all, if you're attempting to make a EV luxury marque, a luxury manufacturer is going to prefer something made in a foreign country that costs more because it had to be imported. Yeah, because rich people are sometimes really fucking stupid. For the record, smartest rich person I ever met drove a fucking Hyundai. Though a new UK-US agreement permits up to 100,000 UK-built vehicles annually to enter at a reduced 10% rate, it's still costlier than prior levels. Range Rover models qualify under the deal, but the popular Defender, built in Slovakia, remains subject to the full 25% duty. So we can see that they're willing to build in other countries. Land Rover has updated the Defender, and wow, that actually looks pretty good. Too much interior tech, but I'm a bit of a Luddite Butlerian, so. To offset losses, JLR is reallocating its units to markets with more favorable trade conditions and is considering U.S. price adjustments. While JLR's affluent clientele may absorb some price hikes, Tata Motors, its Indian parent, yeah, that's right, Jaguar Land Rover is owned by an Indian company, it lacks U.S.-based production, unlike rivals BMW and Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, that's right, BMW and Mercedes-Benz actually build cars in the States. This structural gap amplifies the tariff burden. Yeah. Investors reacted swiftly to this latest news with Tata Motors stock, so that's where the stock is, dropping up to 5.2% during early trading hours. Yeah. Rebrand, backlash, and product vacuum. The rebranding campaign copy nothing. Yeah, so just, do what everybody else is doing and switch to EVs. Morons. Late last year from Accenture's Song drew immediate criticism. It removed Jaguar's iconic leaping cat badge and replaced it with a plain word mark. A launch video featured stylized imagery and models and not one single car. Taking a look at the car, I think I can see why. Intended to highlight modernity and inclusion, the campaign came across to many as tone-deaf and out of step with the brand's automotive roots. I won't subject you to more than a half a second of this, just so you remember. That's good, thank you. Backlash online was so strong that the recently automaker, even Design Rush can't manage to proofread their shit properly. Backlash online was so strong that recently the automaker put its creative account under review. A near total lack of available models compounded the situation. Heading into 2025, Jaguar had phased out nearly every vehicle in its lineup: the XE and XF sedans, the F-Type sports car, the E-Pace and I-Pace crossovers. Only limited numbers of the F-Pace SUV remained. Jaguar stopped production of the XE, XF, and F-Type. I assume that's how I got it. It's ordered. I may have it wrong. But that's a gorgeous car. Even just this shitty, not really clear angle, not great photography, this is a fucking gorgeous car. And if it doesn't go vroom, I don't fucking want it. This left customers with almost no purchasing options and dealers unable to drive volume. Yeah, no shit. BMW avoided such a scenario by offering combustion, hybrid, and electric vehicles concurrently. Models like the i4 and iX were added without removing core offerings like the 3 Series and X5, helping BMW grow European sales by 6.2% in the first quarter of 2025. I'm even seeing BMWs here, and they're becoming far more common than they used to be. Same with Mercedes. Speaking of, Mercedes-Benz also preserves stability by continuing to sell traditional models and integrating its EQ technology into them. This dual-track approach helped the brand hold a consistent 5% market share. There's Jaggy. Look at that. Jaguar from 2024, Jaguar 49. Jaguar's been failing for a while from the looks of it. Audi saw a similarly balanced outcome. Audi from 24, Audi 25, Mercedes-Benz 24, Mercedes-Benz 25, BMW 24, BMW 25. I think they're the only ones who actually increased market share. Yes, they are. I wonder where they're stealing it from. In any case, sales remain steady year over year thanks to a mix of EVs like the Q4 e-tron and combustion mainstays such as the Q5 and A3. Audi is also reassessing its plans to stop introducing new gasoline models after 2026, making sure to pace the changeover gradually depending on global market changes. Yeah, wait until demand actually exists before you attempt to supply it, because supplying a demand that doesn't exist is a great way to run out of, well, everything. Jaguar, and I'll say it that way once or twice, on the other hand, appears to have made peace with losing 85% of its customer base as it aims to enter a more exclusive segment. How long before they start preaching at us about, oh, we're so much better than you because we care about the environment? Shoot me. Why is the Sahara greener than ever before? It'll be 2027 when we're delivering cars in earnest. So more than a year and a half, well, about a year and a half at least, before they start putting out new cars. I hope you can survive it. I like this one. It'll be 2027 when we're delivering cars in earnest, and a car's life cycle is 8 or 9 years. Electric adoption is an S-curve, and we're definitely in the flatter part now. I don't know about that. But by 2030, electric is going to be the dominant powertrain. No, governments are attempting to artificially make it the dominant powertrain. I have some bad news for you. All the governments are actually going to accomplish by making EVs the dominant powertrain is to make fewer people drive. And this is from Jaguar Managing Director. Yes, I know his name is what it sounds like. Ron Glover. Said in an interview with Auto Express. The company's decision to discontinue nearly its entire portfolio before replacements were available created a commercial vacuum. No shit. Long-standing customers walked away. No shit. Dealers lost revenue. No. And the brand's presence evaporated from consumer view. No shit, Sherlock. If the upcoming electric models deliver both appeal and performance, Jaguar could stage a return with renewed purpose. Yeah, or they'll spend 2 years after a horrible embarrassment being completely absent from the market, and no one's going to give a shit when they come back because all they're going to be offering is EVs. I have some bad news for you guys. For now, though, it remains largely out of sight. Yeah, I think that's quite enough of beating the poor fallen horse. Speaking of things that are poor and fallen, let's talk about Canada. From ubiworks.ca. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, UBI stands for Universal Basic Income. It's basically the thing they were doing in Venezuela before the collapse. And Venezuela had way more oil going out. Canadian Senate Bill S206 for Guaranteed Livable Basic Income. Guaranteed livable. Good luck with that. Whereas every person should have access... Oh, you guys can't see that, sorry. Okay, well that's just irritating. Let me see if I can do something better here. I cannot. Okay, well, over here, I'll just read this section for you. Whereas every person should have access to a livable basic income, ellipsis, the minister must develop a national framework for the implementation of a guaranteed livable basic income program throughout Canada. On May 28th, can I actually move that over? No. Okay. On May 28th, 2025, Senator Kim Pate introduced Bill S206, which, if passed, would require the creation of the first national framework for an unconditional, guaranteed livable basic income for all persons over 17 across Canada. Why do you have to be 17? And is your next push going to be to lower the voting age to 17? This bill is the direct successor of Bills S233 and C223, introduced in 2021 by Senator Pate. I'm going to say Pate. It might be Pate. It might be Patty. I don't know. And MP Leah Gazin. S233 passed second reading and was sent to committee in 2023, but was terminated in 2025 with the dissolution of the 44th Parliament. So it spent almost 2, or at least more than a year, being looked at by the Senate, by committee rather, but didn't make it out of committee before Trudeau dissolved Parliament earlier this year. Or late last year. No, earlier this year. Interesting. Or the dissolution of the 44th. Maybe that was the one Carney closed. Bill S206 key features. For any person over the age of 17, determine what constitutes a livable basic income. For each region in Canada. So it's going to be regionally keyed. That's great. Thanks. To ensure that participation in education, training, or the labor market is not required. Yeah, you don't even have to go to school. That's why it's 17. Because pretty much every province, if you're 17, you can drop out of high school. Yeah. Does not result in a decrease in services or benefits meant to meet an individual's exceptional needs related to health or disability. I will point something out. That means people who are already disabled will get more money. Or the same, period. Okay. This is exceptionally bad. What would Bill S206 do? If passed, this law would require the Minister of Finance within a year to create a Canada-wide framework for the implementation of a guaranteed livable basic income. Simply put, this means that the federal government would need to put together the standards and plan from which it, along with the other levels of government, could create unconditional basic incomes in their jurisdictions. Okay, we're not going to go any further with this. I'm just going to bring this image back up. Actually, I'm going to open this image if I can. I cannot? Okay, well, let's just show you the sort of person who is looking forward to this, if I can. No, how about if I make it bigger? There we go. I should be able to bring her into frame now. No? Okay, well, in any case, take my word for it. it's just commie gobbledygook at this point. There we go. So, this is full-on communism. It doesn't matter if you work, you get paid. Okay. There's no expectation for you to contribute to the tax system that this is going to fund. Okay. Yeah. It's going to be based on where you live in the country. Why? If you're doing this, you could end transfer payments and pay everybody the same thing. Because then everybody is paying into the same pot anyway. Every province, I mean. But of course, the reason they won't do that is because, well, you wouldn't be able to play provinces against each other and have one be mad at another. And, you know, it's Canada. Quebec has to get more than everybody else. Yeah. So, as Kanakistan slides slowly into the great pit that is communism, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell everybody I love you very much. We're done. Right? If this gets passed, Canada's done. We're already in bad shape as it is. But if this passes, we are fucked. There's no coming back once you go full communist. Look at Venezuela. Right? So people in Toronto and Calgary, start researching zebra recipes now. I believe there's a panda or two. So, you know, have the good forethought to figure out which animal is going to be the most expensive. If anyone can get me a panda skin coat, I'm willing to pay a premium. Yeah, I'll save some of this basic income for that. I'll buy gold. I'm not an idiot. I mean, this is a case where you have to apply gallows humor. If you don't, you're going to go insane. We're watching our country just dissolve. And what else can we do? In any case, folks, by the time you see this, I will probably have my stream up on Rumble and potentially even be playing. So pop on over. I'll spend probably the rest of the afternoon at least gaming. So you'll be able to find me. I may even take a supper break and come back and play some more this evening, depending on what's going on. It's Saturday. I don't think anybody I know is streaming. So, yeah. Other than that, folks, I hope you're doing good. I hope you continue to do good. Be thankful that you're not in Canada, unless you're in Canada, in which case be thankful you're on the right side of the grass, I guess. Other than that, I hope you're doing well. I hope you continue to do well. And as always, rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye. See you on Rumble. Hello, party people. So I'm attempting to make a go of this whole content creation thing, and I could really use your support. Either monetary or, you know, just moral. Though by moral I mean please like and share, comment, send it out to your friends, your frenemies, your family, and your foes. In any case, another way you can support me, and I am changing my merch store over to Fourth Wall, which is why it still says Redbubble in the bottom. You also have the option to send me a tip on Ko-Fi. But in the meantime, until I get the Fourth Wall up, sorted, ready to go, I will be keeping the Redbubble store open for a little while. Some of the designs that are in the Redbubble store will not be repeated on Fourth Wall. In fact, I am considering moving to a somewhat more limited run sort of system for some of these designs. Some of them cease to be topical after a while. I still have a number of the, let's call it the disease with no name designs. In any case, I do appreciate any support you guys give me, even if it is simply sharing it or even liking and commenting. Every comment I see, I will respond to. Other than that, as always, I hope you're well and continue to be well. Rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye.